It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, I don't know what else to tell you.
This is SportsCenter.
You've stuffed yourself, but I hope you've saved room. We're going to bust your football gut. Tony Romo and Brett Favre gobble up records, 10-1 records. For the record, they play each other next. Which team has the early edge? The Colts figured to carve these birds, but Atlanta was up early. Could Peyton lead Indy back? And you just saw USC find its place against the Sun Devils. ASU no longer BCS. We're going back to the desert on SportsCenter. Right now.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to SportsCenter. Hope it has been a safe and a happy holiday. With Neil Everett, I'm Scott Van Pelt.
Lions Den, no danger for the Packers. A must-win game, said one Detroit player. Hey, if that's the case, don't invite Brett Favre to Thanksgiving, although he's just 1-2 on Turkey Day. And on his first play from scrimmage, Favre fumbles and Detroit gobbles up the football. Lions took a 6-0 lead. Then the world got right if you have an affinity for cheese. And Brett Favre, second quarter, 14-9 Pack. Let's let the consecutive pass completion counter start. Greg Jennings, that's Ryan Grant. This is James Jones, 1, 2, 3. We've got a theme. Back to Grant for 4, and Donald Driver will be 5 and 6. I threw it, they caught it. Nothing spectacular, said Favre afterwards. Yeah, true, except Favre kept throwing it, and they kept catching it. They caught everything. Donald Lee, 7. Halftime break came. They didn't break Favre's concentration. Third quarter, Driver, 8. Then Corin Robinson gets in the act at 9. At one point, Green Bay called 17 straight pass plays. 10 and 11 to Driver, 12 to Jones. Brett Favre can't be stopped. His receivers won't drop the football. Robinson going to catch 13 on the deep pass. Detroit DP falls down. You never think he's going to miss one, Green Bay coach Mike McCarthy said afterwards. Jennings there, that's a touchdown. It's 24-9. And when he goes to Jennings again, that's 15 in a row. Favre breaks his career record. He's not done. To Grant, nothing gained, but the streak alive. To Grant again, there's a gainer there. And then number 18 is a touchdown to Ravel Martin. Favre ties the Packers franchise record held by Lynn Dickey and Don Mikowski. He's not done. Screen pass to Grant, 19. And then Driver, the catch in the yak, 41 yards. Rod Marinelli said, the Detroit coach said he's never seen Favre play better. And he said that before this game. At number 20 to Robinson, but whoa, he's out of bounds. Can't get the, he caught it, but he caught it out of bounds. We blew it, said Jennings, tongue-in-cheek, of the streak ending. Favre streak ends at 20. Single game record, by the way, 22, held by Mark Brunell and David Carr. Fourth quarter, it's 34-12, and the Lions trying to make a ball game of it. John Kitna, 19 of 40, 224. Calvin Johnson, man, he's fun to watch. 34-19. Then Kevin Jones, who had 93 yards. Mike Martz ran the ball. It's an 8-point game, one possession. But the Lions can't get Green Bay off the field. Brett Favre's going to go drive him down the field. James Jones right there. And then Ryan Grant, he had 94 of his 101 yards in the second quarter. Man, if they got a running back in him, there's trouble. They get a field goal. It's Farvergnugan, 31 of 41, 381 yards, 3 touchdowns. 37-26 is your final. And Green Bay matches its best 11-game record since 1929. That's the year before Favre joined the Packers. NFC North leaders have a 4-game lead with 5 games.
Dude, bro, he's a dude.
He's a total dude. I'm way older than him. I can make fun of his age.
Right.
Come on, he put the D in dude. Detroit loses its 3rd straight and goes from feel good to feeling uneasy. Bob Holtzman, feel him. He's in Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Earlier this week, Lions safety Kenoy Kennedy said he's so impressed with the way Brett Favre's throwing right now, he wondered why the Packers would ever run the ball. Apparently, the Green Bay coaching staff was wondering the same thing. On Thursday, the Packers threw on 31 of their first 35 snaps, including 17 straight.
Well, they weren't stopping us in the passing game, and I mean, you know, if it's working, keep rolling with it.
We've got a lot of great receivers, and Brett, you know, is on fire. So why not put the ball up? We're protecting the quarterback. Why not throw it 31 times out of 35 snaps, you know?
I keep saying all along we need balance. But we also need to do what we do and do it well. And if it's throwing the ball, we got to throw it.
Wide receiver Donald Driver has been saying for weeks that there's nothing a defense can do to stop the Packers right now, and if they keep throwing the ball, they can beat anyone. That theory will be put to its toughest test yet next Thursday when the Packers play in Dallas. In Detroit, Bob Holtzman, ESPN.
He takes dude to another level with his post-game attire.
Yeah, he goes T-shirt and cargo pants.
Exactly. He's completing 73% of his passes with 13 touchdowns and just 2 picks in his last 5 games. You know who makes plays? Sean Salisbury.
Holler.
All right, let me be Captain Obvious here. Brett Favre's good. But let me tell you the reasons why and show you exactly why. We know that he has that spontaneity and the ability to make throws from all different angles, but his mechanics are spectacular. He's still got the fastball, but he's got more touch and patience. Have a look at the Thanksgiving Day game. The great throw on a line, protecting his receiver, throws it to the outside to force his receiver to turn away from trouble. That's one. Then the drop shot, but I want you to watch his feet. How many times have we seen Brett falling away, throw the lob shot, and get it in there? But these are perfect throws. There to Corn Robinson. Feet are underneath him. No wasted motion with his delivery. He is so good being spontaneous, but even better when he's doing this. Feet set. There is no wasted motion in this. If you're late with this throw, it's an incomplete pass. Hits it for the touchdown to Jennings. And then again, Favre. How in the world are you going to make this throw? Well, unless your name's Brett Favre or probably Tom Brady right now. The mechanics are sound as could be. Drops it into Jennings for the perfect throw. Brett Favre is having a spectacular season, an MVP-type season, and a chance now to go to Dallas next week and give his team an opportunity to have the inside track at home field advantage. But after that game on Thursday, the Thanksgiving Day game, John Kitna, the quarterback for the Detroit Lions, had some high praise for Brett Favre, the football player.
He's the greatest ever.
Well, one of the greatest Packer teams ever was the 1962 NFL Championship team. This Packer team, 10-1 for the first time since that championship team. Favre completing almost 70% of his passes this year, and that would break his own club record.
Dallas needed to beat the lowly Jets to set up the one-loss matchup next week. Tony Romo and the Cowboys, if they could pull it off, it'd be surprisingly enough the first time they'd ever done that in the franchise's history. The brothers Jones, Julius and Thomas, hooking up for the second time ever on Thanksgiving. Advantage Julius. He runs for 19 of his 64 here to daylight. Opening drive of the Cowboys, they let the Jets know exactly what they would be in for all day long. Same drive will blow up 81. He goes in motion, which helps clear a little room for Marion Barber, who always runs as if his dreads were on fire. This will be his 7th touchdown of the season. He went for 103 yards, and just like that, the Cowboys have marched the length of the field. They lead 7-0. They don't look back. Jason Witten throughout the year has been one of number 9's favorite targets here. A little play action. And there's Witten. He had 4 grabs on the day. He's the second most receptions he has for the season. 6 touchdowns for him. Kellen Clemens couldn't do much all day. Here it's Terrence Newman. Hey, man, show him your taillights on the deal. 41 to the paint. And that was pretty much it. Wade Phillips, excited. Wants to give a little love to Romo, but at this point he flashes back in his mind and remembers last week. Ow, man. Ouchie. That hurts. So this time Romo takes it easy on his coach. It's all giggles and happiness on the Dallas sideline. The defense for the Cowboys put the lockdown on the Jets. Kellen Clemens couldn't do anything. This was the closest they came to a touchdown. It's batted away by Jacques Reeves. Here, Greg Ellis. That's a protection sack, obviously. Later in the third, Chris Canty will force Clemens to just throw it away. And this same drive here, Jason Hatcher gets in there, and poor Clemens, the man's not amphibious or ambidextrous or anything else related to being able to use both hands throwing the football. 10 straight incompletions at one point, only 9 first downs for the Jets. Romo to T.O., you know you're going to see that for the 13th time this season. It's a touchdown, corner of the end zone. One more look at this from field level, and that is as pretty a pass as you'll see. On a day when Romo, for a while, looked like he just couldn't quite get his rhythm. Celebration in the end zone, and the Cowboys have done it. They have moved to 10-1 with 2 more touchdown passes. Romo is tied a record I'll tell you about momentarily. And first, let's look at the situation for the Jets. They've got the Dolphins next, so they might get another win. But then they've got the Patriots lying in wait. And the Patriots have made it clear they want to try to score a hundy on the Jets. And the way they're going, they might just do that. Their season, for all intents and purposes, is all about draft pick. Cowboys have higher goals, and they begin, I assume, next week.
10-1's a great start.
obviously it's a phenomenal beginning to the season and in the middle here, and I think now it's just about finishing, and we're gonna go out there and try and do what we can do to get better for next week's game and for the games coming, and get ourselves in position at the end.
That's a great accomplishment, but we're trying to get that Super Bowl championship, so just being 10-1, we're grateful for it, and we made history, but it doesn't stop there, and we know there's more football, left in this season, and we're looking to get to Arizona.
I mentioned the 2 touchdown passes. That moves Romo to 29, tying Danny White's all-time single-season team record set back in '83. Of course, the Redskins got him that year, so they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Romo, 5 more games to shatter the record. And in case you're curious, and then this surprised me, Troy Aikman's career high only 23. Sean Salisbury now. How about them Cowboys?
All right, as we look forward to next week's game, the Packers against the Cowboys, we've seen some of the great things that Green Bay can do. Well, here's what the Dallas Cowboys can do offensively and defensively, where they're underrated and are going to have to play great against Brett Favre. It's their versatility on both sides of the ball that gives them and separates them from the rest of the NFC. Here you see DeMarcus Ware down low here at the bottom of your screen. Now, you've got to be disciplined when the ball's going away from you. So in case they cut back, keep your outside arm free. Look at him come down, not timid, but just making sure he doesn't come down too hard and allow outside contain and allow him to break outside. Down at the goal line again, you got outside linebacker and safety and corners down in the hole. What you got to do is stick your head up in there and make a tackle and wrap up down here. Great job of discipline. When you've got to fill a gap, you fill a gap. And there's Kenny Hamlin who will hit you. Defense will be big, but so will offense, and we know that Romo and Owens can throw it. This is going to be the key to the game right here, in my opinion. Marion Barber making sure that if he controls it, that they can control Brett Favre and keep him by the Gatorade. This is one of the biggest beasts in all of football.
Packers and the Cowboys from Dallas next Thursday. Hope you have the NFL Network or you won't see it. Second meeting a 10-1 team since the merger in 1970. Giants, Niners, 1990. The other. Favre the edge in passing yards over Romo. Romo has Dallas scoring more points per game, but this is as anticipated a game as we've had all season, save, of course, the battle of the unbeatens.
But Green Bay and Dallas, what they did on Thursday is already so last Thursday. Much more Packers-Cowboys as they prepare for next weekend's showdown. SportsCenter back in 60 seconds. Colts down early to the Falcons. Find out if Peyton Manning can lead the Colts back to victory, or was it Joey's day and the Trojans destroy ASU's BCS hopes. And that's just the start of a huge college football weekend. We're all over that when SportsCenter returns.
When you put up a fathead, you're making a statement too big for words. A statement like this.
Get your favorite fatheads from the NFL, plus MLB, NBA, NASCAR, and more. For a limited time, buy one and get half off the second at fathead.com.
Few, the proud, the Marines.
SportsCenter, brought to you by Miller Lite. For award-winning taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, good call. And DirecTV. Get over 85 of the best channels in HD now.
Well, USC can't make the title game. Can they wreck it for Arizona State? In a word, yes. A game in which a Rose Bowl berth could be at stake. They've trailed, have the Sun Devils, by double digits 5 times in the first quarter of the season. Dennis Erickson said, I know my stomach would be better. We've got to come out and play better. I've been telling them it for 8 weeks. Obviously, they haven't listened. You don't want to get far behind the men of Troy. Their defense is stout. They got behind early. USC marched right down the field, but Rudy Burgess takes the kickoff, finds a seam, picks up some blocks, and he's got a kicker chasing him, and he's not going to get caught by a kicker, or is he? No, he just scoots down the sidelines, and in the blink of an eye, it's 7-7 out in the desert. Arizona State, after we take a look at this return, find a seam, find a seam, find a seam, and see ya. Awfully exciting start to this game. But USC was starting to get healthy. Today on the radio, I had a chance to talk to some college football experts who said they all kind of felt like USC might dominate this game. Well, USC leads by 3. Rudy Carpenter, Chris McGaha. Speaking of picking up blocks, give me a block, give me a block. Remember the guy that ran the touchdown? He gets a big block in there that sets up a field goal that tied the game at 17. Then it's all USC. John David, booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Ronald Johnson, the freshman who eschewed Michigan to go play out in California. Not a touchdown, it's 1st and goal. Season high 375 for Booty, who plows his way in. The guy was like 5 feet in the end zone. It took forever for them to signal touchdown, but it was. Then Joe McKnight, a freshman who eschewed LSU. He gets in, and USC absolutely dominates the folks that called it with more in just a minute. The score is a lot to not many, 44-24. I'm trying my best, Neil. Stop laughing at me. 44 points, the most they've scored in exactly 2 months when they dropped 47 on the folks from the Palouse. 23-0 in November under Pete Carroll. That's a pretty stunning record because the old adage in college football is you want to be remembered for what you do in November. Rose Bowl certainly within reach if they beat UCLA next week, and Oregon is to stumble. As for that aforementioned and promised the deal from out there in the desert, the folks who called the game, Chris Fowler anchoring.
So USC's strong statement win gives Oregon control of the Rose Bowl destiny. USC will be sitting there if Oregon can lose one of the next 2 games to go to the Rose Bowl. John David Booty's best game of the season, 375 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
And he did that without a ground game. I mean, the running game at USC was not there, but the defense was. I mean, this defense stepped up to the task. They knew they had a chance against an offense at Arizona State that had been given a lot of trouble with the blitz and a lot of sacks. So you put that on that USC defensive line, and they come out here and they just were smoking them.
Boy, they threw every blitz in the book at him and got after the quarterback. Rudy Carpenter was getting hit all day long. And on offense, it was yards after the catch. Receivers making big plays, tight ends making big plays, Davis running over people, and Booty just distributing the ball. He looked healthy, fresh, and ready to rock.
So Arizona State's loss means there are 5 real contenders for the national championship, unbeaten Kansas and 4 teams that have 1 loss. Ohio State is idle, and this weekend, of course, all eyes on Kansas City, the neutral field collision of the Tigers and the Jayhawks Saturday night.
Well, you know what? Why do we not want to talk about West Virginia? UConn at West Virginia. They're already at number 3. So, I mean, this is a team that just has to take care of business, and it's not a layup game for them. They recognize that UConn's a very solid, dependable football team. I mean, Missouri and Kansas, you're going to have a great time there, Chris. It'll be a lot of fun to watch that. 2 really good, solid quarterbacks, 2 teams that don't make a lot of mistakes. It's going to be an outstanding football game.
The reason people aren't talking as much about West Virginia is that they feel like the winner of Missouri-Kansas will have that win under their belt and then a potential Big 12 championship game under the belt that might leapfrog West Virginia. There's no guarantee LSU is going to win out. They still have an SEC championship game to play, too.
You got Arkansas, too, this weekend. So you don't think that the winner of the Big 12 North, with the potential of playing Oklahoma in the championship game, is pointed toward the BCS championship game?
Well, I think there's a great chance of that happening.
Right.
Absolutely. I think that is. But when you look at West Virginia, they're playing a ranked, solid UConn team. So it's going to be real close. You know, an Oklahoma loss that they had against Texas Tech a week ago really hurts that cause. If that Oklahoma team had remained with on that loss that they had, then a Missouri-Kansas win over Oklahoma would have been outstanding. But, I mean, that's what's great about this. We don't know. It's going to be really close in the backstretch.
The other door that opens is if the Big 12 South wins that championship game with 2 losses, there goes West Virginia's shot to get up there. They get up.
And even Ohio State.
Or whoever that other team becomes.
Could be the Buckeyes in the Rose Bowl, could be facing Oregon or USC. The Sun Devils, a damaging loss for their chances here tonight in Tempe as we throw it back to the studio.
Thank you, men, and happy Thanksgiving. And just to sort of finish off that thought, again, as the men pointed out, Oregon's got their hands on the steering wheel.
Right.
I'm trying as hard as I can.
Right.
But Dennis Dixon he's not the guy holding the steering wheel.
Right. The car needs some serious alignment.
I'm sitting next to a duck who believes that car might be driving off the road. Don't be surprised if USC, if they can knock off UCLA, ends up playing for the Roses.
All right, our SportsCenter BCS Express, we're going to have to ask Arizona State to disembark. LSU, they're 1, and they're at Arkansas Friday. The Tigers have won 33 straight against unranked opponents. You'll hear Mark May, his take on that game later. The game of the weekend, 4 Missouri, 2 Kansas, Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium. Shot at the National Championship, 8 Eastern Saturday on ABC. And then 3 West Virginia hosting UConn. UConn's a great story. Big East title, BCS berth on line, 3:30 Saturday on ABC. And then number 5, Ohio State can just sit back and wait and see what happens. You know, they're kind of your leader in the proverbial clubhouse. Much more football inside SportsCenter. Colts figured to stuff these birds on Thanksgiving. In the end, we'll see how they did just that. The Patriots are lighting up teams at a record pace. Here's who Sean Salisbury thinks matches up best against Brady's bunch, and it's not the Van Pattens. And see which team our expert says will win the border war. Plus, no Texas team wanted the Jayhawks quarterback. Find out why Kansas took a chance on this signal call.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays all season long.
If you're gonna give the gift of beer this year, make it a 4-time World Beer Cup gold medalist for American-style light lager. Miller Lite. Good call.
It's that magical time of year. Get a special lease offer on a powerfully luxurious E350 sports sedan at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event now through January 2nd. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
This holiday season, 75 years of Disney magic becomes the motion picture event unlike anything you've seen before.
There's a rodent on the table! It's chewing off her face!
Enchanted, rated PG, now playing.
Hey, taxi!
Merci.
More bars in more places. That's what you can expect from the new AT&T, the largest digital voice and data network in America, and more global coverage than any U.S. carrier. So switch to the network you can trust. AT&T, your world delivered. Now get 50% off all Samsung phones like the A737.
Find the perfect gift at Zales this Friday from 8 to noon. Save an extra $50 on this Journey Diamond pendant, now just $199. At Zales, the diamond store.
Tis better when you win it. eBay. Shop victoriously.
Monday, the Dolphins head to Steeltown as Big Ben, Willie Parker, and the intimidating Steelers D look to iron out a victory. ESPN Monday Night Football. Dolphins-Steelers at 8:30.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Missouri, Kansas. Saturday at 8 Eastern.
Rated R.
College football. Play-by-play from every major conference. XM. Get 3 months free when you activate an XM radio between November 23rd and December 31st. Are you on?
If you set me up, I will find you.
Hitman. Rated R. Now playing only in theaters.
Brett Favre and Tony Romo getting a lot of love on this edition of SportsCenter, but let's not forget the current Lord of the Ring, Peyton Manning. Colts have been struggling. A trip to Atlanta figured to cure what ails him, at least on this particular day. Manning undefeated on Thanksgiving Day games, and that includes all backyard games involving brother's dad, Archie, and the neighbor kids. And we all remember 04, 6 touchdowns against the Lions. The Lions were quarterbacked by Joey Harrington. That was 41-9 game for Peyton's bunch. And there's Joey Harrington. He's quarterbacking the Falcons. They're 3-7. The 3 wins are with Harrington as the starter. He hits Roddy White 48 yards. And all of a sudden, Bobby Petrino's club's up 10-0, and Harrington says, yeah, the turkey agrees with me. Second quarter, Manning hits Reggie Wayne 23 yards, and all of a sudden it's 10-7. Warwick Dunn on the verge of history with a 2-yard gain. What's the history? He's the 22nd player in NFL history to reach 10,000 rushing yards. Hold on to that football for Warwick Dunn. Anthony Gonzalez back from the broken thumb, and no Marvin Harrison. He became Manning's favorite receiver, and Manning passes Johnny Unitas for 10th all-time in passing on that play, and then he finds Dallas Clark, who's back, and the Colts take the lead 14-13. Still in the second, Harrington. The completion to LaRon Robinson and Antoine Bethea takes him down. There goes the football. There goes Bob Sanders, one of those guys you'd pay to see play. And well, this long return is going to be nullified by a penalty, and you may have just caught the penalty right there. But he pops Robinson, and then later in the return, he goes WW Smackdown on Harrington. Not nice. After the turnover, there, Manning takes care of business. Ben Utek, touchdown, 5 yards. Colts up 21-13. Atlanta trying to keep it close, trying and failing. Joseph Adai, he left this game early with a neck injury, came back 10 carries, 44 yards, 28-13. Atlanta trying to keep it close enough, failing. Rocky Boyman, he intercepts. That lead to a field goal, and well, the Falcons get gobbled up on Thanksgiving Day as Joey Harrington goes 14 of 30, 155 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks, 31-13. Your final, of course, when this game was scheduled, it was Michael Vick against Peyton Manning, and that's no longer the case. Manning, 272 yards, 22 of 32, 3 touchdowns, his 45th career 3-touchdown game. The good news for the Falcons, work done, makes history.
Sean Salisbury joins us again. And Sean, you're the defending world champs, but you've lost a couple of games in a row. You win a game where you're sort of sketchy. You're on the road against a lousy team and you're down 10 points.
When the pressure falls squarely on you.
It could be easy to spit the bit, but when you don't, and when you rise to the occasion and you win convincingly, what's that tell you about them?
I think that from Tony Dungy, or maybe even the top Bill Pollin right on down, this is a calm football team, Scott. They don't allow outside distractions to bother them, and those are also injuries. And getting a guy like Anthony Gonzalez back, who's been their slot guy, and he's new at this, but it's amazing. He looked like he was one of Peyton's favorites in this football game on Thanksgiving evening because of the way he operated. And Scott, he's operating outside the slot. Now look at him, just shows his versatility, and it looked as if Peyton was back in a comfort zone. You're going to watch him run the old in cut here, and Peyton's going to stand in, hold the ball long enough and deliver so Gonzalez can get it out the back door and let him hit the ground running for a big play.
And if you watched him last year with Ohio State, he's a guy that surprised you. He was always Smith's favorite target.
Absolutely, and reliable and run after the catch. Here it is again. You saw him at the bottom of the screen. Great job of getting down the sideline, Scott, and getting his feet inbounds and giving Peyton a body and giving him room to throw it. Having Gonzalez back, and there's a lot of disruption with Dwight Freeney, which is huge, and with Marvin Harrison, which is huge.